I'm going to show you how to make a curry coconut chicken with masala potatoes. So lots of things to show you. First of all, house bone house chicken, always a good one. You want to take the leg and the thigh off first. So I'm going to bone out the whole thing today. Right, that's the leg and the thigh. We're going to joint that. So we've got a thigh and a leg, and a thigh and a leg. You probably want to take the foot off, but you can crack it open like that and then just cut through. I'm going to leave the wing tip on, so I'm just going to cut through that joint and that joint. And now I'm going to take both breasts off, but because I've got the wing tip on, things always cook better when there's a bit of bone on in the background. Right, so that's the first breast. Second one is coming up. Work as close to the bone, obviously, as you possibly can. Use a knife that's hard, not bendy, and thin, because then you can just use the tip of it. Now what I'm going to do is I've got my coconut milk in here. That goes in, and I've got some turmeric. That goes in too. Give it a bit of a mix, and I'm going to add a bit of coconut oil in there. Give it a good old mix, and that forms a marinade. I suppose you could put a bit of salt and pepper in there as well if you like, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to marinate everything. I guess I'm going to go in with my hands. But you can leave overnight preferably, just to give it a nice bit of flavour and colour. I think for the purposes of the presentation at the end, I'm only going to use one breast, but I figured I may as well cook the whole chicken because there are lots of mouths around the kitchen today and they will all need feeding. Right, happy with that. I'm going to give myself a bit of a wash, and then we'll come back and we'll do the masala potatoes and then the curry sauce. I'm just going to shove these in the oven. Those are the chicken, which I'm going to cook completely separately. And I'm going to put some groundnut oil in a pan, and I'm going to fry off some onions. I've then got some mustard seed, some turmeric, coriander powder, lime leaves, the rind of a lime, you know what I mean, and a little bit of lemon juice. Give that a bit of a shake. And I've got some potatoes which I've peeled and just cut on the angle, and those are going to go in. I'm just going to give those a bit of a mix, and you can keep those going for about 2 or 3 minutes. So actually what I think I'll do for the moment, for the duration, is I can stick that over here. Now for the curry sauce, I've got my onion and garlic. And I'm going to show you the basic principles of making any sauce, which is you always cook onion first and then garlic. That goes in. Chili. So that's all the flavour. This is the basis of Asian cookery. What you do is you put as much flavour in the onion, and then you put the liquid on top. In this case, rather than a tomato sauce or a stock, we are using coconut milk. Now this coconut milk, as you can see, is quite wet and runny, and the intention is to cook it down or reduce it down so it turns into a nice thick syrup. And once that does turn into a thick syrup, that will then be used as a sauce. So the next component is the spinach. So I'm just going to put some groundnut oil in there. It's nicer if you use butter, but looking after the old way. I'm still using the same old spoon, but I don't really care because there's flavour in it. Garlic goes in, and chili. Just let that get a little bit of colour on it. Spinach, all it really needs is just a bit of a wash, and throw it in. And then you just cook it down until you get the texture that you like. Sometimes you do have to press out the moisture at the very end, but that's literally all there is to it. I just need to take the chicken out of the oven. When you take chicken out of the oven, you should let it rest for, at least 5 minutes, certainly a joint of that size, before serving. Potatoes are lovely and cooked, so I'm going to stick those in. That forms the base. Bit of the spinach goes on top, like that. But I think it's quite nice to show a bit of the bone, so I'm going to take that off now. Remember in the 70s you could put like a chef's hat on one of these. So that goes on there, and then very creamy sauce, and then put that on top. I mean, this is a sort of gastropub version of what a sort of chicken masala curry might look like. There you go. Masala potatoes, coconut curry sauce, breast of chicken. There you go. Go and do it now. Next time will be lamb, giving it quite a contemporary sort of finish, so hope to see you there.